Welcome. This video is about peace. There are several videos on the playlist about peace, but this video incorporates several aspects of peace into one video. I'm Dr. Lynette Wiest, and you're watching Wisdom's Peaceful Harmony. Peace is not a goal, it is a path. Our work is to walk the path of peace, courageously sharing peace with everyone whose lives intersect with our own. Understanding peace and creating peace are impossible through eyes of fear. Trust and lasting peace is created from wisdom that knows that love and not fear must guide us, even if the circumstances say that love doesn't make logical sense. Walking a path of peace requires courage and patience, trusting love's wisdom to inform each step. Fear blinds us from the path of peace, telling us peace can be stolen from us. Love illuminates the path, revealing our power to walk in peace now, in this moment. When fear is the driving fuel of one's life, then peace is nowhere to be found. When love is the fuel of life, even death cannot disturb the soul's peace. One cannot fight for peace. It is an illusion to believe that war can create peace. War creates fear, fear creates war. Love creates peace. By walking the path of peace, you create more peace. When others join on that path, peace branches out, creating many peace paths. I'm going to share the peace prayer of St. Francis. It's actually written by an anonymous author, and it became well known because St. Francis loved it and shared it. Quote, "Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is error, truth. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. And it is in dying that we are born to eternal life." End quote. What do we do with the wisdom that is contained in this peace prayer? At a time when many people have been deceived into thinking that peace is something that you can impose onto others by force and manipulation. How do we work out peace in each of our lives, in our personal relationships, and in the larger world around us? Peace must develop from the inside out. Peace is an assertive choice. Peace is not aggressive, and it is not passive. It is not a reaction to discomfort or circumstance. True peace is a path that is chosen because of love. It is the steps you take out of love. In the book called Another Way, A Positive Response to Contemporary Violence, Adam Curl writes about peacemaking. I believe that what he says can be applied to oneself, to relationships, and to the world. He writes that peacemaking, quote, "is the science of perceiving that things which are apart are one, and the art of restoring love to a relationship from which it has been driven by fear and hatred." End quote. Peace requires discernment of where to invest the attention of our minds and hearts. When we invest energy in things that we do not need, like hate, envy, control, isolation, resentment, or blame, we create struggles and fatigue, conflict, disharmony, and all sorts of other undesirable outcomes. Peace requires letting go of blame, letting go of judgment, and letting go of comparison. We are not to judge the world. We are to create peace within ourselves and then act out peace and act out love and act out mercy, act out forgiveness. Our motivation to live in peace cannot be based on results from outside of our control. If motivation is dependent on external forces, we will be investing our attention away from the true power that we have within ourselves. We must allow love to reveal peace that is within us, and then share this peace with the world. But we can't impose peace. Imposing peace is the clash of terms. Love exists within ourselves and our relationships. Love's power resides with and springs forth from those relationships. Love exposes peace to those who desire to see it also. It does not impose. This powerful, simple peace process is contrary to the logic of our culture. In a culture of logic and complexity, the words powerful and simple may not seem to be optimal partners. But love's simplicity sees us as we are, through honest and pure eyes. Love sees us as whole and brilliantly lovable. We know love through the eyes of mercy and forgiveness. It is powerful and humbling to walk in this love. Love is not something we create. It is the pure reality of our core. We must see ourselves and others through honest, accurate, yet culturally maybe illogical eyes of unconditional love. We often hear that we must accomplish peace, yet peace is something already available. It is difficult to have enough humility to receive peace in an ongoing way. In the book of Corinthians, the author Paul writes that peace appears foolish to many people. This is because fear's illusions can hide truth. Fear makes you believe that your survival may be in opposition to the survival of another. Love believes that survival requires cooperation and compassion towards others. As we value the material world more than we value relationships, we get into trouble. We must value relationships more than we value the material world and surrender selfish motives. We need to act in reverence for ourselves and all of life. And in this way, we not only survive, we thrive. As we surrender to love, fear may still try to cloud our vision of peace. We may want to run away or even fight against peace. But we must care more about the love in our hearts than we do care at all about toxic or fearful perspectives. Our love knows who we are, and it knows what is best and important for us, despite the fear that tries to cloud love's light. So here's a metaphor. Even when the clouds cover the sun is still shining. And in the darkness of night, the Earth's sun, our star, is still shining. And because of darkness, we can see the suns of all sorts of other places, their stars that are beyond our own star, our own sun star. If we don't move in love toward what is important, we may lose what we love, giving fear its way. And so we must care more about giving love in relationships than we care about our fears of being misunderstood or our fears of being devalued or any other fears. We can trust that love will take care of all of our desires that are best and necessary. Love will empower us to respect ourselves, to have healthy boundaries, and to accept others as they are. In the book of Philippians, the author Paul writes from prison, quote, "Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, Let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ. End quote. When we are misunderstood or devalued or seen as foolish, we must not be pulled off track from our humble walk in love's power. We must not get anxious. And if we allow pride to enter in, we're setting ourselves up to judge, to blame, and to resent others. And in this way, we create clouds and we distance ourselves in our relationships. When we separate ourselves from peace, we end up in trouble. Separating ourselves from peace, if we believe that when we separate ourselves from peace, believing that we can accomplish something apart from the whole, then we have a hard time finding our way back to peace. We have to work from the inside out, allowing love to create peace from within ourselves, and then connect this peace into the peace that's in the hearts of others. We must focus and direct our minds and our hearts with love, not fear. Do not focus on what is unhealthy. Do not sacrifice peace and joy by judging and resenting. Be refreshed and challenged. Move past self-isolation and fear. Look at the possibilities of cooperation and compassion. Act, relate, and walk in the flow of peace and love. Our love exposes the peace we are given. Love requires responsibility. We must act justly and have honest hearts. And we must be honest with ourselves and others. Love must be shared unconditionally in order to be increased. The increase will come from the inside out. And so, expect to be misunderstood on the outside until others are also affected internally too. Lovingly use mercy to forgive. Forgive yourself and everyone you encounter. Walk humbly in love's unconditional power. Be meek enough to know the source of strength is the love we give to ourselves and to others. Exposing unconditional love to others while never demanding it in return is the unconditional part. We can even love those who hate us by surrendering all judgment that we have. And in this way, our peace is not dependent on others at all, on others' apologies, on others' understandings, or on others loving us back. We are able then to have personal peace in each of our relationships, no matter what the position of the other is. Love uses each of us to connect with others, but judgment interrupts connection. Only love has accurate perspective to see what love is doing in each life, in each community, in each religion, in each country, in each culture, in each everything. Only love has the accurate perspective. If we are going to give unconditional love, meeting people where they are, how can we demand that they be somewhere else? As we accept ourselves and others, we and they are free to change and grow in love's strength. Love's humility, ironically, trumps iconic power. Love has always delivered the message of peace to people through the compassionate joining of all lives. And one life is not any more important than another. The message of peaceful power comes in the form of humility. Notice that throughout time, the people who have made the biggest differences in creating peace didn't usually start with big job titles or financial wealth or famous names. Instead, peaceful power uses the ideas that the world considers foolish and of little worth in order to get the attention of those people considered by the world as great and wise. So at first, each step of the peace path tends to be despised by those with material wealth and material power. Ideas of peace and unity and harmony and compassion and cooperation and sustainability initially often appear unprofitable. But each step on the peace path equally recognizes the uniqueness, the value, and the equality of all life, so that no one anywhere can ever brag of being more important than any other. It is from all life and all creation that you now have your life. And so love's peace is what makes you rich. It's what makes your heart rich beyond anything physical. We are to love mercy rather than judge, rather than measure, and rather than compare ourselves and others. Jesus of Nazareth said that the religious leaders who tried to make themselves look good at following the laws were hypocrites, that they were blind guides, and they were fools. He said that they cleansed themselves on the outside, but not on the inside. Do we stay alert and clean out any false pride in our lives? In the power of love, our humble walk will bring peace into our lives. We know our access to peaceful power depends on allowing love to flow in and through our lives. We are free to know love and to try our best and to accept life as part of love's wholeness. Our part, each of us, is our part of love's wholeness. And in this way, knowing we have only one part, in this way, we are humbled. Walking humbly in love gives us the confidence to live in peace. We are part of something so important. Peace is not a goal. It is a gift. It's a path that we have the freedom to find from within ourselves. Nothing, not people, not circumstance, or anything else can be an obstacle to love's peace living in each of us. It is a free gift. Each of us chooses to what degree you will embrace it. The harmony of all nature's wisdoms is the global song of peace. It always exists. For humans, it is felt when one listens to their heart, their instrument. If you would like to see more videos about relationships, about love's power, and about communication skills, it's free to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Welcome!